Peace and blessings, everybody.
Blessings.
I am Ile-Ife Jimini Ray.
I am Ile-Ife Tegunshe.
And you were tuned in to
the best,
the greatest
podcast
on the whole planet Earth.
Let's talk Ifa. Shewa
Ashewa, Ekabo.
Aboru, aboye, abo shishewo.
Akbo ato asuri wori wo fun.
To all of the babalawos, Iyanifas, Babalorisha, Iyalorishas, we are back.
Ashewa. Adupwe, thank you. We love you. Thank you for continuing to tune in. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. As usual, we pray for all of our listeners, all of our watchers, all of our supporters. May all of you and your families and your children continue to be blessed. Continue to be protected. And have the guidance of the ancestors and the Orisha. In the name of Olodumare. Ashe. So today we are back and we are doing this episode. This is going to be the reading of the year coming out of Ile-Ife, Nigeria. This is the reading coming straight from, Itase, coming straight from Ile-Ife. So the first one we did was our own interpretation of Oturupan Meji, Ologbon Meji, Ire Aiku. The second podcast we did was an interpretation that was sent to me by Mauluo, Ifabukumi Adewale. Now, this is going to be dedicated to the actual information and all of the Odu and the interpretations that came straight from Ile-Ife, from the official delegation, okay?
Yeah.
So this one is pretty long. So we're going to have to break it up into parts. All right. So Ifa of the year 2025-2026. It runs from June to June. Itase, Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria. We have Oturupan Meji, also known as Ologbon Meji. I'm just going to read this real quick. In the name of Olodumare, Orunmila, and all the Orisha, we greet everybody throughout the globe. We also extend the greetings of His Eminence, Oalabi, Awodotun, Aworeni, the Araba Oluisheshe Agbaye, the permanent chairman of the Council of Araba Oluo, the pillar of the International Council for Ifa Religion, better known as ICIR. To you all in this season of the World Ifa Festival, with the combined efforts of Board of Ethics and Scripture and the Council of Elders of the ICIR, we are hereby presenting verses of the Ifa of the year recited with inspiration by the priest on the mat in the early hours of Sunday, June 8th, 2025, which stands as the first day in the year of the Ifa calendar system. The Odu Ifa that came out for this year is Oturupan Meji, Oturupan on the right, Oturupan on the left, also known as Ologbon Meji. The Odu came with Ire Aiku, which is blessings of longevity. And to attain this, Ebo is recommended. Ifa priests from Nigeria, Republic of Benin, Republic of Togo, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago, Mexico, the United States of America, Venezuela, Cuba, Argentina, Panama, Britain, Switzerland, Germany, Ghana, Sweden, Italy, and France made their contributions to these interpretations. The verses of Oturupan Meji recited with their narratives are as follows. So I'll take the first one. The first one is under the topic of prosperity. It says that Ifa says that Appeasement of Ori and Ifa is very important for devotees throughout this year. Ifa says that people should call upon their Ori for blessings and call upon Ifa to help appeal to their Ori. It is necessary to note that while Ifa can appeal to Ori, receiving blessings depends on one's Ori.
Sure.
Ifa says people who are appeasing their Ori regularly will be receiving multiple blessings. Ebo should be made with 2 rats, 2 fish, 2 hens, honey, gin, 2 pigeons, and kola nut. After the Ebo, Ifa and Ori will be appeased. On this, Ifa says, no wise person has the skill to tie water with cloth. No knowledgeable person can count or can know the number of sand grains on the ground. No traveler can reach where the road ends. No tree climber can go beyond the leaves. Cast Ifa for Rumila. He was going to the celestial realm. He was going to bring Ori's doctrine. If one is blessed with 2 sources of income in a day, people will say that he has good Ifa. It isn't Ifa, it is Ori. It is Ori that does that. It is not Ifa. If one is blessed with 2 wives in a day, people will say he has good Ifa. It is not Ifa, it is Ori. It is Ori that does that. It is not Ifa. If one is blessed with 2 children in a day, people will say he has good Ifa. It is not Ifa, it is Ori. It is Ori that does that. It is not Ifa. If one is blessed with 2 fortunes in a day, people will say that he has a good Ifa. It isn't Ifa, it is Ori. It is Ori that does that. It is not Ifa. So basically, and we've said this before in previous podcasts, and we've said that, you can't receive any blessings without the consent and the agreement of your Ori. So in other words, if you could have the greatest destiny in the world, you could have everything that you need, everything could be great, but if your mind isn't right, then you won't be able to receive those blessings. If you have a bad Ori or bad character or something is off with your Ori where you're just not ready to receive those blessings, it doesn't matter. Your Ori is more powerful and it outranks any other force or Orisha when it comes to receiving those blessings, as we've said before.
And Ifa only gives you the blueprint of what your destiny looks like. Ifa gives you the blueprint. Ifa gives you everything that you need, but it's only your Ori that makes it happen.
Shay.
It's your Ori. You can, like the Baba said, you can have the most beautiful destiny, the greatest, loveliest destiny, and it's scribed out for you. The blueprint is there. But if your Ori is not in alignment with what Ifa has seen for you, what Ifa has revealed for you, you're not going to move. You're not going nowhere. You're going to be stuck. So this verse here lets us know when it says, it is not Ifa that has given it to you, it is Ori that has given it to you. It is not Ifa, it's Ori. Ori is known as the greatest Orisha. There's no Orisha. All of your Orishas have Ori. All of your Orishas had a destiny.
I say.
And so it was their Ori. It was Shango. Shango was a powerful king. Shango conquered almost 3/3 of West Africa. But it was his Ori that was activated and that gave him the power and the strength to do what he did. So we say, Iba Ori.
I say why?
I shall. Number 2, Ifa says people should appease their esse, legs, so that the legs always direct them to the right place. A bar is needed to guide against any kind of problems with the legs. These problems with legs range from experiencing a delay in getting to the spot of fortunes, leaving the spot before fortune arrives, and experiencing accidents. That ball should be made with 4 pigeons: honey, gin, cola nuts, and money. After the ebal, each foot will be appeased with an ayele, a pigeon, and cola nut. On this, Ifa says, Opwebe, the owl of the leg, cast Ifa for the leg when coming from heaven to earth. Here comes Opwebe, the owl of the leg. Nobody can execute any plan without leg. So this verse here, again, as we just talked about the Ori, now we're talking about the essay, the legs, the importance of the legs. The legs is the foundation.
I say.
It is the legs. The Ori sends the signal to the legs to move.
To take us where the Ori say to go.
Take us where we go. There's a verse that says, may your Ori lead and not your legs lead.
I say.
So when the Ori sends the signals to the legs is when action begins. And so we have to take care of our legs this year so that we can move. So when our Ori locks in and our Ori says, go get it, we can get up on our 2 and go and get it. Ashe.
Ashe, why? And also, just real quick, it's just important to pay attention to. It says that when it comes to the legs, first of all, so look out for, so what is the Odu saying? It's saying to look out and be careful of injuring your leg or any diseases or anything that can mess up your legs. And it's also saying that these problems with the legs can range from experiencing a delay in getting to the spot of your fortune of your ire, leaving the spot before your fortune arrives, or experience an accident. So just keep that. Don't let that part go over your head. Think about that very well.
You gotta move.
That's deep.
You gotta move a certain way with your legs. You can't move too fast. And then you don't want to move too slow, but you want to move at the right. This is why IFA is so important, because so that you can move at the right time, so that you can meet your blessings at the right time.
I see.
So the legs are very important. So watch how you move this year. Take your time.
So 3, and we are still under the area of prosperity, okay? It is very necessary to note that we need support from people to achieve greatness.
Sure.
We should look for people's favor. It is necessary to maintain good relationship with our fellow human beings. Ifa says the fortunes we are looking for are with our fellow human beings. We must be friendly with people so that they release unto us the blessings and favors within their capacity. A ball should be made with 4 pigeons, honey, gin, cola nut, money, and palm oil. On this, Ifa says, no wise person has the skill to tie water with cloth. No knowledgeable person can know the number of sand grains on the ground. No traveler can reach where the road ends. No tree climber can go beyond the leaves. Cast Ifa for Orumila. So these were the name of the priest that did divination for Orumila. When he was going to the city of Anu, the city of favor. It is money that I need. Fellow human beings, kindly have compassion for me. Fellow human beings, it is wife that I need. Fellow human beings, kindly have compassion for me. Fellow human beings, it is children that I need. Fellow human beings, kindly have compassion for me. Fellow human beings, it is all fortune and all ire that I need. Fellow human beings, kindly have compassion for me. Fellow human beings, before long, all fortunes come in abundance. So what is this verse talking about? This verse is talking about watch your character, watch how you treat people, watch how you talk to people, because the same people that you see on your way up will be the same ones you see on your way down. Don't be a loner. Don't put yourself in isolation, and that you have to work with the community and with people in order to achieve your success and your blessings this year.
Yeah, don't cut yourself off from people. If you see a group of people working, don't try to separate yourself and do your own thing. Go join them in the work, because the work is going to bring the unity. When you see a group of people working together, they working towards a common goal. Don't separate yourself and say, well, I'm going to let them do that over there and I'm going to sit on the sideline and watch. And I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go and work on my own project and let them do that. No, go join in where there's multiple of people doing the work. Be part of that. Because when that prosperity comes from that work, you want to be there to be part of that prosperity.
I say.
So work. Don't be a loner. Don't be an introvert, as they say. Come out to the people. Be sweet. Be nice. Talk respectfully. When people ask you a question, answer it properly. When people want to know something, I don't care if it's white people, I don't care if it's Chinese people, I don't care if it's Indian, I don't care who they are. Be willing to answer the question respectfully. Be diplomatic. Be kind at heart. Catch more flies with honey than you do with salt.
Say.
So let's work on our character. Let's present ourselves well in the public eye and to people.
Especially if you are in some type of leadership capacity, or you're trying to be, and especially when you are working with a group of people in a particular community that you need. Because, there's no community with just one person. So let's just break this down and be plain so that make sure people understand this. This E5 verse is saying, if you pay attention to the first part where it says, no wise person has the skill to tie water with cloth. No knowledgeable person knows the number of sand grains on the ground. Sand grains on the ground, right? In other words, E5 is saying, don't be a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole. Don't be an ass to people. Don't talk to people like a certain way, and because you're going to need these same people's help. This is what E5 is saying. Don't check your ego at the door. Don't be nobody likes a know-it-all. That's what E5 is saying.
And, another thing is, from what I'm getting from this verse where it says, no wise person knows all of the grains on the ground or whatever. It's like, you might know a little bit of something, but you don't know everything. We're still in the process of learning.
I say.
Even when we know certain things, we still in the process of learning more about it and more and more and more.
I say.
So don't, as the Bible said, don't be a know-it-all. Strive to learn more. At the same time, when you learn, teach what you have learned. Pass on what you have learned.
Benny.
Leave room to learn more, or pass on to what you have learned to others. And don't try and keep everything to yourself, because it got to come out, and it's going to come out somehow.
I say.
Sure.
Number 4. Go take it away, brother.
Number 4, Ifa says people should appreciate their benefactors. Spiritual children should refrain from abandoning their spiritual fathers and mothers. Ifa says many people are experiencing difficulties because they have forgotten their benefactors. People should retrace their steps and go back to the home where they were initiated.
Oof,
Also,
ouch.
people who are successful should remember the priests that were there for them when they were struggling. Ifa also says each home, shrine, or temples should invite back their old priests who have not been seeing and have been seeing in the programs of such homes, shrines, or temples. Ifa says in some homes, shrines, or temples where they are not recording success, they should know that somebody who was very resourceful to them has been forgotten. There is need for the presence of such persons in their activities for success. Also, people who are advised for Ifa initiation should see this year as the best time. On this, Ifa says, the spirals flies up. It does not touch the water. It does not touch the hill. Cast Ifa for Okitibaba, a prince of Oluigbo. Okitibaba, you are right. We have finished this initiation. Let us have grace to do another initiation. Okitibaba, you are right. So, Ifa says a couple of things in this verse. Ifa says people should appreciate their benefactors. Spiritual children should refrain from abandoning their spiritual fathers and mothers. We see this quite a bit, not just in the diaspora, but around the world. We see this happening a lot, where you have hoppers. You have Ile hoppers or people who would leave their Ile and they would hop around. You have priests who claim to be high priests, who claim to be Babalawo Iyanifas, who are doing a lot of recordings on their journeys into Ifa, but they are not mentioning where they started from. They're just saying, I went to Nigeria and I learned this, that, and the other, but they are not talking about where they started, the root of where they started, whether it was in the diaspora, whether it was in Brazil, Cuba, or Yotunji, whether it was in Nigeria. They're not giving reverence from where they start. They're not giving reverence to the people who actually saved their lives and started them on a journey.
I say.
They are covering up a lot of things and they're not being truthful. And so it's saying in this verse that you need to retrace your steps back to where you started. Because if you don't give reverence to those who helped you, and you thinking you so high and big, when you fall, those same people might be nice enough to come along and say, oh, you okay? Oh, you learned your lesson. I'm going to pick you up. But this time, I'm not going to give you everything that I gave you before because you need to learn a lesson. So it's very important that we never, me personally, I try not to break ties with people or elders or whomever, if I've done something wrong, I always try to say, please let me know what I did wrong. And let's find a solution to solving it, because you never know when you're going to need those people again. You never know when you're going to need those elders again. So this verse is very, very important because it's a lot of folks out there who have left their Iles or they got what they wanted and they say, I don't need you no more. I got what I wanted. I don't need you no more. I'm gonna go open up my Ile. And some people disrespect the godparents or those who started them on this journey, and now they went to another country and now they big and famous, but they don't even go back to the roots where they started. So that's not good. That's not culture. That is not culture.
Yeah, this is a good one here. And I think that, unfortunately, I feel like for a lot of people, this one is going to go right over their heads. But,
yeah, I feel the same way.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I feel like that as well.
By the way, this will be posted. This entire divination will be posted under the link of this video. So you will be able to have it. You can download it and print it out or read it or do whatever you need to do. All the readings that we've covered so far, we will make sure that we post them.
But this one here, I think people really need to pay attention to this verse, because Ifa is speaking and Ifa is saying this for a reason. Because I think it was the verse, either the verse before this or it was one of the verses talked about fellow human beings, being respectful, to fellow human beings. And so now this one is saying, retrace your feet back and mend those relationships that you have broken, those ties with your godparent. They may not be your godparent no more because you then moved on, but they started you out in this culture, in this movement. And if y'all had some type of disagreement and you left, and you didn't go back, and, just make things right. This is the time to do it.
That's it.
Because you might need them for something. You might need them to vouch for you. You might need those people to vouch for you. So I think this one here, Ifa is saying it, but at the end of the day, you do have a choice whether to do it or not. If it was me, I'm trying to figure out, now I'm reading this, I'm trying to figure out, okay, who do I need to backtrack and go talk to? I'm thinking right now, and if it's somebody I need to backtrack, I will do it this year because Ifa is saying it. This is what Ifa is saying.
Yeah, this is
so
deep.
It's very important because it's a lot of that has happened in the past. People have left their Ile. And then you just got some people that's just plain old, their whole makeup is to hop around and get knowledge from each Ile. And that's just what they do. It's almost like parasites. They hop and just get knowledge and then hop and move on.
Get a little bit and move on and get a little bit. And that's just their thing for whatever reason. That's not really the best way to do it. But, that's not going to allow you to hit your maximum potential, to achieve your destiny and all those things when you just hop in. And then, for a lot of other people that we know, some personally, you have some people that have ulterior motives and they have these hidden agendas.
Yeah, that's what,
So they do things to get close, and then once they learn what they feel like they need to learn, or they meet who they feel like they need to meet, pew, they gone.
They'll even get a husband out of the deal. Or they'll get a wife,
whatever the case,
and get what they want, and they, they out.
Whatever it is that they feel like they needed to get out of it, right? And then they basically, disrespect or do dirty the person that was really there for them to help them when they really needed it, that taught them and got them. As soon as they get a little something, they,
And that's cool, but if you're gonna leave respectfully.
Yeah.
Leave peacefully.
Yeah.
And so you won't break any ties, because life is funny. And sometimes, the person that you do wrong, that person, you just never know. Life comes in cycles, and if you fall and have a bad one, that person might be on the road and walk right and run right into you while you down and be like, oh, oh, okay, well, I can't do nothing to help you, and keep walking and leave you on, leave you on the ground.
Yeah.
Because your legs then failed you.
Yeah, this is a deep one. Y'all would advise everybody to make sure they go back and read that one again. Can't overemphasize that one enough. Verse 5, under the topic of prosperity. Ifa says each person should appease Ifa with honey. And throughout the year, we should always add honey to the items whenever we want to appease Ifa.
Sure.
This is necessary because of the despisers who may want to backbite and blackmail them out of envy. On this, Ifa says, Oturu pon meji, eniko pon morere. Cast Ifa for Gani, who will be despising people in the world. It is money that I have that you are despising me. Oh, you despiser. Your disposal does not stop honey from being sweet. Oh, you despiser. So this is interesting because in the previous divination, the interpretation that we got from our Luo, it mentioned offering a lot of honey this year to Ifa. So generally when we think of offering honey, it's about, sweetness and making our life sweet, which sweetness is the opposite of bitterness, right? But in this context, it's also talking about giving honey to basically appease Ifa so that the people that secretly or openly despise us and want to backbite us and backstab us and slander us, our names and all those type of things will be taken care of by Ifa. Those enemies, Ifa will take care of those type of people for us through the offerings of the honey, of the orgin. So that's an interesting take on that. So now we move on to part 2, which deals with the achievement of goals.
So Ifa says everybody should recognize the imperfection on the part of human beings. For our goals to be achieved, we must admit that we are not perfect. Arrogance should be done away with. People in the position of authority should give proper recognition to their predecessors and consult the latter when it is necessary. Let us not forget our mentors and visit them for necessary advice. Our traditional rulers need to call upon the post-rulers the past rulers and give proper veneration to them. In order to record success, our endeavors, homage to our ancestors is very important whenever we lay our hands on anything. Ifa says there are many rituals that we could not get properly again. However, Ifa says giving reverence to the ancestors will straighten the rituals, whether it is properly performed or not. There is a need to appease a gungun, the ancestors, with a ram, he-goat, cock, gin, cola nuts, money, pap, and cola nuts. On this, Ifa says, Prepwe is the home of Awo. Otita is the owl in the market. When sparrow makes its nest, it makes it face neither horizontal nor vertical. Cast Ifa for Oyepolu, a child of the chief priest of Ife. His father died when he was a kid. His mother died when he was a kid. Oyepolu hadn't learned how to cast Ifa. Oyepolu hadn't learned how to imprint the Odu on Ifatre. Oyepolu hadn't learned how to make Eba. They invited him to make an appeasement. He started crying. He said, if water is not to be, forgive me, if water is not to,
It's to be poured
is to
first.
be poured first, I do not know. Oh, you past priests, come and help me perfect this ritual, he said. If gin is to be poured down first, I do not know. I believe the Baba said the story on the previous podcast.
From our interpretation.
interpretation.
I learned this verse from Miles Lewis, the exact same
Yeah.
verse for Oyin Bolu.
So, Ifa, going back to the top, what I'm focused on is this part where Ifa says, let us not pretend like we're perfect. Let us not pretend that we're perfect. Don't be arrogant. Don't be a know-it-all. Let's be humble. Let's go back to those who we get advice from. Let's not forget them. Take them something. Whenever they give you some advice, when you go to an elder to get some knowledge, take them something. Give them something for their knowledge and their wisdom. That is very important. Ashe.
Ishoro bawatum oro ishe o ishoro bawatum oro ishe ishoro bawatum oro ishe o ishoro bawatum ifajimini re ishoro bawatum oro ishe o ishoro. That's the song that I learned that goes with that verse. Is basically saying that, me, myself, I don't know the ritual rites. Ancestors of our own, please come and assist us with this ritual. So, like the Baba said, this verse is saying a lot. It's saying everything the Baba already said. It's talking about the importance of ancestor veneration, the importance of tradition, of culture, the importance of passing this on to our children. Because if you notice in the story, the subject, Oyepolu, his father passed away before he was able to learn the rituals and the rites of the ancestors. So, and this is also saying again that nobody knows it all. We're not perfect, and we need the assistance of the ancestors to help us basically with our shortcomings and accept our shortcomings and accept the fact that we're not perfect. But if we depend if we invoke our ancestors and we venerate them and we depend on them, then they will come through for us, right? So that's what the other thing this verse is saying. So verse 2, under the topic of achievement of goals. So verse 1 is just saying the importance of the ancestors. And when it comes to achieving your goals, make sure that you are including the ancestors in everything. Verse 2, Ifa says we should always heed advice. Some people think they are wise while they are not. People should relate with people without arrogance or seeing themselves as an island of wisdom. Ifa says failure to heed to advice will lead to regret. On this, Ifa says no wise person has the skill to tie water on cloth. No knowledgeable person can know the number of sand grains on the ground. No traveler can reach where the road ends. No tree climber can go beyond the leaves. Ifa revelation to Alabahun, the tortoise. So these were the same Ifa priests now making divination for the tortoise. When he gathered all wisdom of the world and wanted to hide them on a tree. So no matter the degree of wisdom of Alabahun, the tortoise, he cannot withstand the wisdom of Igbin, the snail. Wisdom can never be exhausted. There will always be more wisdom to explore. So that's pretty much self-explanatory right there. I think maybe we will, let's see, did we go to the next one? Yeah, let's do that one. It's short. So we're going to cover one more. We're going to break this into different segments. So this is going to be basically part one of the interpretation coming straight from Ile-Ife. So the next one, the next topic is on the topic of victory.
Ishegun. Enemies are abound. Ifa assures us of overcoming enemies. Eba is needed for this. With the Eba, the enemies will be overpowered. Eba will be made with a he-goat, 3 cocks, a big rat, palm oil, money, gin, cornmeal, soap, and Ifa leaves, including Shegun Shete. After the Eba, the Ifa leaves will be used to prepare soap for the person to bathe. On this, Ifa says, when one takes too much alcohol, one becomes intoxicated. If one uses too many charms, one becomes insane. If one has too much authority, one becomes unreasonably authoritative. Ifa's message to Osain in Bawe, who would overcome his enemies. Here is Shegun Shete leaves. I will surely win the war. I will surely overcome the conspiracy. So this is, this year, in order to gain victory, you have to make Eba. In order to gain victory over your enemies, in order to gain victory over conspiracies, Ifa is letting us know that we have to make use of Eba. We have to make use of Akoshe, Ifa medicine. Soap, it was mentioned in this Odu, Ewe Shegun Sete, and black soap, and the medicine, the Shegun Sete is pounded and verses are chanted, and the medicine is fused into the soap for to be used to gain victory over enemies. And so this is for priests and Babalawos. This is something good that all awos can use for their clients who may be experiencing enemies this year. Even probably it's something I think you should probably ask Ifa because their Odu might say something different, but because this is for the world, you can confirm with Ifa if this is something, probably something on the side you can give your clients to overcome enemies. Ashe.
Yeah, Ifa saying here, don't be power drunk.
Yes. Oh,
boy. I think we mentioned that in one of the divinations from the beginning of the year when we did for Oyatunji from the village, if I recall correctly. It says it warns about taking too much alcohol, being intoxicated, but also being intoxicated on power.
With power
drunk. Yourself, power drunk, right?
Power drunk.
Not relying on too many charms and thinking that you got all these charms and that you're just going to go out and take the world over, right? And just being power drunk with charms, with,
Ilekes, like you got a bunch of
over authoritative, yeah.
And you thinking because you got a bunch of Ilekes and charms on that a bullet can't, knock you down or take you out. Don't think like that. When, you don't have to have a lot of charms. You don't have to overdo anything.
Overdoing it.
To try to think that you got power if you got a bunch of charms or a bunch of beads or you got a bunch of juju or a bunch of akoshe. You know, when people do that, is you must have done something wrong. So you must have done something so bad that you feel the need that you need so much protection that you just get intoxicated with charms. You know, you can't. You're not more powerful than Olodumare.
See.
So let's not overdo everything.
And the last warning is Ifa saying that being over authoritative, being a dictator, thinking you can just boss people around and tell them what to do and make people do stuff, and are you really the boss? Like who? Or even if you are the leader, lead by serving first, and don't be a dictator. Don't be an authoritarian. Look at Trump right now. Okay, this verse is talking to him.
I know this guy is a trip.
Verse 2, under the topic of victory. Also, to overcome enemies of progress, there is need for us to appease Ile, the Mother Earth, represented by Orisha Edan, which is the Orisha of Agboni. The items of sacrifice include 3 cocks, 3 hens, cock is a rooster, 3 hens, 3 snails, 3 pigeons, gin, 3 cola nut, 3 bitter cola, and 3 alligator pepe. After the Ebo, Edan will be appeased. On this, Ifa says, no wise person has the skill to tie the water with cloth. No knowledgeable person can know the number of sand grains on the ground. No traveler can reach where the road ends. No tree climber can go beyond the trees, beyond the leaves. Ifa message to Orunmila, the historian. When he was amidst enemies, he was asked to make Ebo. He complied. If it is a man that is waging war against us, Ile, the Mother Earth, should swallow him. If it is a woman who is waging war against us, Ile, the Mother Earth, should swallow her. Anybody who is waging war against us, Ile, the Mother Earth, should swallow the person. Okay, so we're talking about protection from the ancestors. We're talking about Ori. We're talking about Mother Earth, which is an Orisha in itself. The Orisha Ile, which is represented by Ile, Edan. They go hand in hand. The symbol of Edan is a man and a woman. Okay, so this is very powerful verse here. So like I said, we will post this. And again, this was basically appeasing the spirit of Mother Earth, Ile, in order to overcome enemies of progress. Progress for yourself, progress for your family, progress for your community, for your village, right? Progress of whatever you want to apply that to. Because we all know that we have enemies of progress. We have people that want to just continuously be a distraction, It's the main ones that don't do any work and don't do anything and contribute, but they have the most to say when it's time to do something. And it's nothing but a distraction. That is an enemy of progress. They never have anything positive to say. They never do anything positive. They never contribute to anything, but they always doing this, right? That's an enemy of progress. So Ifa is saying appease the spirit of Orisha Edan, which is also represented by the Orisha we call Ile, which is the Mother Earth, to swallow up our enemies.
It's a lot of people doing a lot of things
doing this at both
in the media. People put things in the media about people People put things in the media about
People want to write letters.
People writing letters. People, all of these things at the end of the day, it's a distraction from those who are doing the work.
I say.
And it's embarrassing,
it's corny.
When you have people that's really doing the work, but then you got the naysayers, you got the backbiters, you have the betrayers. They're sending negative energy, but they're never coming to do the work. And so, if I speaking in volumes here, with this verse,
good gracious,
in great volumes with this verse, because as we are working to progress forward, and this goes for those who are the workers. I don't care if you work for corporate America.
To the workers.
I don't care if you work for corporate America. I don't care who you work for. You're working towards a common goal.
Benny.
And those who work, they always experience those who are always trying to break them down. That's life. And that's when you really know the work that you're doing really means something. Because if you don't have enemies,
there you go.
You're not doing
You ain't got haters today. You ain't doing nothing. So
you don't have haters. You're not busy enough.
I say why.
So I say thank you to my haters.
I do pray.
Because I must be doing something.
I say.
If you got my name in the paper, if you got my name on YouTube or Facebook,
in your mouth,
dogging me out, continue to dog me out.
I say.
Because I must be doing something good. So thank you.
And you really just dogging yourself.
Because that's what it really is. You really showing that
really just dogging
you're
yourself.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
because you would be too busy.
You wouldn't be doing
to
it.
badmouth other people that are doing the work. Most people, these people that we're talking about, enemies of progress, they're always busy with distractions and talking about what other people are doing or not doing because they got all the time in the world to do that because they're not doing nothing.
Not doing nothing.
Okay? So, and you all know who you are. Everybody knows who they are in this equation, in this verse. So shout out to all the people that get up that's actually doing the work, making things happen, that are positive, staying positive. Stay positive, stay up. Let's avoid the distractions. Let's ignore the naysayers and all of these backbiters and all of these people, that all of the enemies of progress with the lies, with the slander, with whatever they want to let them talk. Is a lion doesn't have to react every time a dog barks, every time a chihuahua barks when they walk by. So let's keep that in mind, and let's stay focused right on the big picture.
Because your roar is louder than their bark.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give attention or jump or get emotional when the little poodle starts barking and you a lion.
I say.
You don't have to react to the little poodle that's barking.
I say.
You just sit there and look at him and say, okay, well, maybe one day your roar will be big, but you probably need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, stay focused.
Stay focused.
Stay focused on
what
the
you're
mission
supposed to be doing.
I say.
And your job and your contribution.
Benny.
Your work is your contribution to your nation.
I say
your
why.
work is your contribution to your family.
I say.
Your work is your contribution to even to yourself.
Oh.
So don't let the enemies of progress distract you from progressing. I say.
We will return. The next part, we're going to pick up with the topic of heritage preservation. So make sure you come and check out part 2 of the interpretation of the reading of the year straight from Ile-Ife. We love y'all. We thank y'all. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. I am Ife Jamini Ray.
I am Ife Tegunshe.
And you are tuned in to
the best,
the greatest
podcast
on the planet Earth.
Let's talk Ife. Odabo. One love. Peace and love to all of our people.
Ashe.
Ashe.